Hi everyone, something I want to discuss today is the movie Smile by Parker Finn, which came out September 22nd on 2022, the year 2022. So I saw this quite recently, last night actually. And I do want my channel to be positive, so right off the bat, I'm going to be honest with everyone. I'm not going to be praising this movie. While I don't think it was a great movie, nor an amazing movie, I do think it was an okay movie, a good movie, and an enjoyable time, to be frank. If one wants to watch it with their friends, significant other, with their family, it's something that's definitely going to be entertaining. And in fact, the despite me not loving it, the reason why I'm making a video about it is because it does scratch an itch of one that itch of if one wants a supernatural horror film. Smile is something that's definitely going to be able to scratch that itch. And I'll be honest, the main character was very abrogating. I did want to root for the main character. Oh my gosh, pardon me. I didn't do any research on the actors just because I'm not a huge movie individual. But now I'm forgetting the character's name, and I just saw the movie last night. So I guess that's a testament to what I mean by the movie wasn't amazing. It was just okay. But again, it was entertaining because I did enjoy the ideas that was behind the movie. Essentially, so there will be minor spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it. I would click away. But essentially, the premise of this movie is that a psychiatrist has a patient who passes on an entity that kills people through a creepy mannerism of smiling and appearing over and over through apparitions, where until eventually it forces you to cure yourself in a certain way. I'm kind of not answering it concretely because the movie's not 100% clear on that aspect. But essentially, it ends with death from this smiling entity. If one enjoyed movies such as It, I guess the original 90s television film series, and also the more modern It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2, they're probably going to enjoy Smile as well. The entity, it doesn't have a name, but I'm not going to lie. There's a part where one of the characters, one of the victims has drawn this entity, and there's a shadowy creature. It kind of reminded me of Gengar. So I've been calling it with my friend Gengar. Um, Maybe that's just my coping mechanism to not be so scared of the movie. But the entity, which I'll be calling Gengar, it really did remind me of Pennywise, and it's unclear whether this entity, whether the Gengar is a demon, some kind of supernatural, super juiced up ghost. I don't think it is a ghost, or it's just some kind of maybe extra, extra, existential creatures such as Pennywise. In case you guys are unaware, Pennywise is not from our reality; it's from a different dimension with the turtle. All hell the turtle. I'm joking, but if you guys watch or read Stephen King's It book, it's just a dumb joke, a dumb reference, a silly reference. Anywho, but yeah, Pennywise is a creature that's outside of our reality. And I'm not sure if this entity of Gengar is the same kind of creature, but definitely Gengar is some kind of demonic extra reality creature, one of those two. But yeah, the movie, the characters, as I said, the character, I did want to root for her, but and I think maybe this was done purposefully. She's kind of a horrible character, as is most of the characters within this movie. The only one that I kind of liked was Joe, Joe's character, and even then, though he kind of starts off in a weird kind of feel like, whoa, why is he checking up? He's a police officer and he's like checking, or a detective maybe, because he doesn't have a uniform. Whatever. He works for law enforcement. He goes to check up on this psychiatrist. It's like, why are you checking up on this random individual? And as it turns out, though, he knows her personally. He's like, oh, okay. Would have been cool to do some foreshadowing in that regard. But anywho, every all the other characters are just very. She has a fiance who he's from. A Train from The Boys, who I do appreciate. I don't know his name, unfortunately, the actor's name. Pardon me, nor do I remember the character's name. But anywho, she's supposed to be her fiance, but he's never there when he needs to be, and I guess that was done purposefully. But in the movie, the psychiatrist states that she always puts up walls, and that's why she doesn't end up with. Surprisingly, the only character I do remember is Joe, the detective character. Um, but if that's true, she put up walls. Why did she get into an engagement then? Why did she have a fiance? She could just live happily alone. But I guess that's just an oversight, maybe. Her sister, the main character's sister, was just a bad individual as well. So, but again, I think this is all being done purposefully because our characters, I believe Parker Finn was trying to work with the idea of trauma and what trauma does to individuals, what it could do to young people, and how when they grow up with that trauma, they don't have a healthy way of dealing with it, how it could affect them even when they're adults. And I do like that idea, but I think the execution of it within the movie could have been better. And again, maybe it was just me because I was my coping mechanism with not being outwardly scared. But watching this main character, the psychiatrist, fight, I wouldn't say tangle, but fight with this entity with Gengar, it gets stated that Gengar tells the psychiatrist, "Your mind belongs to me," and then she says, "Well, my mind is my mind." It looks like she has a second wind, and she starts fighting back. It was just a trick. But what I don't understand, so again, if you haven't seen it, this is gonna be spoilers right here. What I don't understand, the entity Gengar, which at this point you're already used to the way it looks, and it's kind of not comical, maybe like dark comedy comical, but you're already used to it. That the surprise shock factor is no longer present. And Joe, I'm looking behind me because in the movie, the front door is behind her, and she's inside a decrypted house with Gengar coming at her in front of her, and Joe's behind the door. And supposedly she loves Joe. She confesses that she has feelings for him, in that when she's tricked, when she believes she's won the first time against Gengar. But yet she's not able to draw any strength from the fact that he's right there. She knows that if he comes in, he's going to die because he's going to witness the act of her killing herself, which passes on the curse from Gengar, the curse of Gengar, into the next victim. Yet she allows herself to succumb to Gengar. And going back to an earlier point in the movie, it's established that she really loves her cat Mustache, and Gengar kills Mustache by possessing the psychiatrist. One doesn't pay attention, don't miss it, but when they interview the professor's wife, another victim of Gengar, the wife explains that the professor would do actions without any recollection. So I believe that's what happened with Mustache. More than likely, the psychiatrist killed the cat and then gave the cat as a gift to her nephew without any recollection of doing it. But I do believe the actor did a great job of portraying that the character did love the cat. She held the cat's body so gingerly, the head. I lost my cat a little bit over a year ago, so maybe I'm projecting a little bit. But I did appreciate that scene. But with that being said, I don't mean to sound like I'm very cool. I'm very tough. I don't think I'm very tough. I'm wearing a vital brace, if you're going to say. If you guys don't know what that is, my previous video explains what that is, but it's Digimon related. But I'm sorry, but if someone killed my cat, Torito, or killed my dog, Midnight, and I knew it was this crazy entity that just preys on people who have so much trauma, I would like to think that I would try to fight back. Not once does this character ever try to fight back, and it's just so frustrating that she doesn't. And the one time that she does fight back, she doesn't stick to her guns, and she ends up collapsing upon herself. But again, I think maybe that was done purposefully because it gets revealed that she allowed her suicidal mother to die. The mom unfortunately took pills, and she regretted it, but she was too weak to get up from her bed to call the cops, and so she asks her daughter, oh, Rose! The main character's name is Rose. She tells Rose, to go call the cops, and Rose doesn't. Instead, she shuts the door and she runs away. And I understand that's a huge burden to place upon a child. But again, if I saw my mom asking for assistance, it doesn't even have to be my mom. It could be my father, my grandpa, my grandma. If I saw them asking for assistance, I would like to think that I wouldn't just take off and run away. But again, she was very young, Rose. She looked like she was maybe in kindergarten or maybe leading up to kindergarten. So 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6. So all in all, again, even though the movie does have its faults, and this is probably going to be one of the most negative videos I make, would I recommend this movie? Yeah, I still would. I would recommend it with some asterisks. It's not the best movie. It's not an amazing movie, but it is an entertaining movie. And I think at the end of the day, that's the whole purpose of why we watch and consume not just movies, but any form of media, be it a television show, movie, a game, a piece of literature, a book, a short story, a screenplay, and so forth, right, is for, if not entertainment, then something to help us grow as an individual, for self-reflection. And I definitely think if one wants to, there's the capacity for both with Smile, entertainment, and the capacity for growth as a self-reflective element, a self-reflectatory element. Did I mispronounce that the second time? Pardon me, I can't pronounce words sometimes. or maybe that's not even a word. Anyways, but if you guys did enjoy this movie, if you did not enjoy this movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll have a discussion about it. Please feel free to either shoot me a personal message or do so in the comments below. Have a great day, everyone. And if a demonic entity or a extra reality, something not from our world, ever tries to attack you, remember, it gets strength from your trauma, usually from something negative emotions, fear, anger. So fight against it, right? Especially if it attacks you personally, if it attacks people and things that you love, right? Demonic entity talk smack about Digimon, I'll show you. No, I'm just joking. Have a great day, everyone, and take care.